Hello and welcome to Let's Talk About It. I am your host, your girl, RenaeThaDiva. Hi. Hopefully, everyone had a wonderful Thanksgiving. First, let me just say thank you for joining. Please like, share, and follow this content. Um, we are on all social media, basically. Yes, all social media. So you can follow us under Renee, RenaeThaDiva, or Legacy Entertainment Studios. Also, make sure you're going out to code1035.com, which is our Geyser media. All right, so let's talk about it. Let's get into it. Shall we? Let's shall. So you may hear some dogs barking. We are actually dog sitting, so I apologize. I'm here in my home office. Um, and makeshift studio for now. And we will be going into a new studio with Yizer TV or Yizer Media as of January. So we are definitely looking forward to that. Let me go ahead and get my sponsorship in the way. We have, of course, Legacy Collection, which is a shoe collection. We have Yizer TV or Yizer Media, which is again at code1035.com. We have SEDM and Mr. Kenneth Brown. And we have, of course, Venue GPS, which is in both app stores. Venue GPS all put together, no spacing. So let's talk about it, shall we? Let's shall. So I want to focus a little bit more on some of the local news, Indiana politics, because that's where I am. I'm here in Indiana. If you are just now joining, this is, of course, again, your girl, RenaeThaDiva. This is Let's Talk About It, a weekly podcast where we come on and we usually have a special guest. Tonight's special guest cannot make it. He had to work overtime, so we'll definitely catch him another time. So tonight I'm going to actually talk to you guys about some business things. I've done so on TikTok before. I'm going to do it here on this platform as well. So it's now shared to our Facebook, YouTube, and other platforms. Okay, so we'll talk about that. So if you have not been paying attention to local news, Governor-elect Braun has released his full freedom and opportunity agenda for his upcoming term. Talking politics, I will never tell you who to vote for. I will always encourage you to vote. So if you did not vote in this year's election, you really can't complain about the outcome. That's all I'll say. So in his freedom and opportunity agenda, some of the highlights are definitely going to be that he talked about some tax relief for Hoosiers. There's a comprehensive tax relief plan. Again, you can dig deeper into this. I won't go into full details. Then he also talked about capping annual property taxes to increase about 2 to 3% to protect homeowners and farmers. I don't know how that protects us homeowners and farmers by increasing our property tax, but this is his plan. He also plans to cut property taxes by reselling homeowners bills that were their pre-COVID levels, is what he's saying. If I remember correctly, the economy was, yes, stabilizing a bit there before COVID, but it also was still fluctuating. Institute strategic sales tax on holidays for back to school supplies, for outdoor recreation equipment and youth sports gear. So he wants to institute a strategic sales tax holiday, is what he's calling it, for back to school supplies, outdoor recreation equipment, and youth sports gear. Now, my children are grown now, granted, but I remember them being active in sports and after school activities or in activities in their school, and they were already expensive. That's all I'll say to that. Okay. Yeah. So these are just some of the, again, things that he's bringing forth. He's going to do some more actions as far as realigning. He also plans to consolidate the state leadership team into 8 cabinet level secretaries to improve their efficiency. So I won't talk anymore about that. All I will say is definitely make sure that you are paying attention to the bills that are going to be presented and or passed by your city electives, no matter what city you are in. In other news, let's talk about some sports. So right now, I know baseball has been, the playoffs have been kind of going on, and they have ended their main plays. So right now, of course, the Yankees, the Oilers, the Red Sox, the Bay Rays, and the Blue Jays are all ranking in the AL East. We have AL Central, which is we have this Cleveland Guardians, Kansas City Royals, Detroit Tigers, Minnesota Twins, and Chicago White Sox rounding out the AL Central. AL West would be the Houston Astros, Seattle Mariners, Texas Rangers, Oakland Athletics, Los Angeles Angels. So in the NL East, we have, of course, the Philadelphia Phillies, Atlanta Braves, New York Mets, Washington Nationals, and Miami Marlins. Central will be the Brewers, Cubs, of course, Chicago Cubs, St. Louis Cardinals, Cincinnati Reds, Pittsburgh Pirates. West is going to finalize that with the Los Angeles Dodgers, San Diego Padres, Arizona Diamondbacks, San Francisco Giants, and the Colorado Rockies. So we are wishing good luck and congratulations to all those teams that are having standings there. So going to the NBA, of course, right now we are in the Eastern Conference, which is the Cleveland Cavaliers, the Boston Celtics, Orlando Magic, New York Knicks, Milwaukee Bucks, Atlanta Hawks. I'm wondering who you guys are kind of picking to be in the playoffs and do the darn thing. You know, I want to see who's going to win. That's what I'll say. Of course, we have me rooting for our Indiana Pacers. They have had a different kind of season. Hi to everybody that's just joining. This is your girl, RenaeThaDiva. This is Let's Talk About It, which is a weekly show where we actually kind of talk about what's going on in sports entertainment news around local here in Indiana, especially, and around our nation, things that kind of affect us as people in our everyday life. So please like, share, follow if you have not already done so. I would definitely appreciate that. I am again RenaeThaDiva, RenaeThaDiva, and also under Legacy Entertainment Studio. So make sure you like, sharing, following. Please also put your comments in there. I will definitely try to read them. Hey, Kenneth, good evening. How are you? Thank you for joining us. All right, so back to the Eastern Conference. Of course, you know, Chicago Bulls, Detroit Pistons, Miami Heat, and my Indiana Pacers are number 8. We're still praying, holding out hope for my guys. So the Western Conference is going to start with the Thunder, the Oklahoma City Thunder is what they're called, the Houston Rockets, Memphis Grizzlies, Golden State Warriors, Dallas Mavericks, and LA Clippers for the top 6. There are, of course, more. I won't go through all of them. Definitely hope you are rooting for your favorite NBA teams as well. And the WNBA, again, I'm still very excited. I've mentioned it before, but I'll say it again, that we are very excited that the WNBA Finals for 2025 will be held here in Indianapolis, Indiana. And I am so excited about the season that the Indiana Fever, who is our WNBA team, has had this year. You ladies are awesome. To the coaching staff, all the people that make it happen, we just say thanks and make it happen. And thank you for watching. Hi, grandson. So my grandson is on my TikTok over here, and he is watching it and liking it, and I just definitely appreciate him. Thank you, grandson. So if you'll find out, I am also very cognizant about what I say on social media because my grandson does watch, you know, and I try to be cognizant of other people's children as well. Yes, I have a grandson. I know. Yes, I do. All right. Lastly, we'll go over the NFL standings right now. Right now in the AFC East, we do have the Buffalo Bills, Miami Dolphins, New York Jets, and New England Patriots all tied for the AFC East standings there. They're not tied, but you know, they're in the top 4 of the standings there. AFC North top standings is going to be the Pittsburgh Steelers. There's also going to be the Baltimore Ravens, Cincinnati Bengals, and the Cleveland Browns. So 2 teams there in Ohio. Imagine that. AFC South, of course, is going to include my Indianapolis Colts. Yay! So we have the Houston Texans, Indianapolis Colts, Tennessee Titans, and Jacksonville Jaguars. Rounding out the West is going to be the Kansas City Chiefs, Los Angeles Chargers, Denver Broncos, Las Vegas Raiders. I'm so used to saying Los Angeles, I promise I am. Yep, so that's our National Football League in the AFC. The NFC is going to be your Eagles, Washington Commanders, Dallas sorry to say Cowgirls, because I just have a love-hate relationship with Dallas right now. The Dallas Cowboys, the New York Giants. Then the North is going to be your Detroit Lions, Minnesota Vikings, Green Bay Packers, Chicago Bears. South is going to be the Falcons, Buccaneers, New Orleans Saints, Carolina Panthers, and lastly, the NFC West is going to be your Seattle Seahawks, Arizona Cardinals, Los Angeles Rams, and San Francisco 49ers. So again, I am just encouraging you to support your favorite teams, whether it's the NFL, MLB, WNBA, or NBA. We know that these young men and women work hard for their sports, and we definitely appreciate that. If you can go to a live game, there's nothing like a live game. Yes, it's also wonderful to sit at home and watch the games on, your TVs in the comfort of your own home, but you also want to support and keep these sports alive. I will also encourage you to support your local level, your high schools, your grade schools, your little league sports. These are things that can be demolished at any moment, especially with the way that the economies are going in some states. So I definitely encourage you to support. All right. So as I mentioned, tonight's show will be a little bit different. We did have a special guest scheduled. He actually had to work overtime, so he will not be able to join us tonight. So I'm actually going to talk about some business things. So most of you do know, or maybe you don't know, that I am by profession an insurance agent. So I have mentioned some insurance topics as well a couple of different times when I've come live for Let's Talk About It. Tonight, I'm going to talk to you about getting started and writing the vision and making it plain. What I mean by that is this. You have to plan to work and work the plan. This is a journal that I was given at a conference, at a women's conference, where actually I was there with Dr. Jasmine Skurlock. And shout out to Dr. Jazz. She's a wonderful and amazing evangelist. She's a wonderful and amazing preacher, encourager, coach, you name it, she's there. So I actually found this book. This is from 2015 when I went to this conference. And in this conference, or back in 2015, I had actually been praying, just sharing a little bit of my life. I had actually been praying about what I wanted to do with my life. I definitely, of course, at that point had been married and divorced at least once, had children, and it was kind of like at a crossroads, kind of trying to figure out where I wanted to go again. I did know that I wanted to be in some kind of thing that helped other people. Thus came the insurance, going back into it. I actually got my license for insurance originally in 2007, 2009, between that period of time. It actually was 2007. It was 2007. So I have been in real estate and insurance before, and get out of the real estate market for personal reasons, and decided that I still wanted to help people, but again, trying to figure out how I wanted to do it. So there comes insurance. Worked for a company that used to be called Golden Rule, which was a local staple here in Indianapolis, Indiana, as far as insurance was concerned, and did that for a while and decided that I needed to go a different route for a little while. Just kind of lost my passion. Just seeing some things in the industry that kind of discouraged me, which is easy to happen. The reason why I say make the plan and plan to work it is because if you have a plan and you are working that plan, no matter what happens, it won't deter you from your plan. Thus, forward to 2015 when I wrote these things. So again, I do encourage you to write things down. Don't share your vision with everyone to begin with. The reason why I say that is because there will be people that will try to deter you. Maybe they are in that industry and they aren't successful. So of course, if you're saying that you're going to do this industry, they may tell you spitefully, don't do it. You'll never be successful. But what God has for you is for you. I'll say that and I'll leave it alone. I won't go into too many um, spiritual aspects of it right now on today's show. But I will, again, always encourage you to do that. So I wrote down, and I'll share with you some things that are very important in deciding about business. So I'm just going to kind of flip through my journal. Okay. So one of the things that we need to make sure that you do is first decide on a dedicated niche. What that means is this: in all industries, there can be several different facets of it. So, in insurance, for example, there's life insurance, there's health insurance, there's home and auto insurance, there's commercial insurance, there's just all different kinds of facets of it. You can be a claims adjuster, you could be an insurance agent, you can be a number of different facets in that. You can work for an agency, you can do a whole number of different things. Then you need to also decide, are you going to work for someone or work for yourself? That's very important. The reason why that is very important is because, of course, in working for yourself in ownership, there's a certain number or level of overhead that you have to consider. Not only that, you also have to consider if you're going to have staff, if you're really going to try to do this on your own. Again, this is also going to be dependent on the industry that you're doing. What I encourage people and what I say to people in writing your things down is this: investigate, investigate, investigate. In old school terms, they used to call it shopping. So if you know that you are going to become, say, for instance, a t-shirt reseller, investigate people that are already selling t-shirts. See what's making their business work, what's not working for their business. Ask them questions. Granted, some people will not answer your questions. Some people don't want to see you be successful, but you can investigate. So decide, then investigate. Decide, then investigate. There you go. So decide, investigate. Decide if you're going to work for yourself. Decide if you are going to work for someone else, and decide what your niche is going to be, and then investigate. Thank you, Kenneth, for putting these in there for me. I appreciate you. After you investigate, then you have to decide what capital is needed to get you started. So if you're going into a commercial building that you're going to be responsible for paying for, are you going to buy that building? Are you leasing that building? Again, you're also consider utilities, because in most commercial buildings, your utilities are not included. Some of them are. You also have to investigate the term of the lease if you're going to be leasing. So is it a 2-year term minimum? Is it a 5-year term minimum? What I will tell you is this: in any business, and if you talk to business professionals, they will tell you it takes at least 3 to 5 years to decide if your business is truly going to be successful. The first year is always going to be the hardest. Most businesses, no matter what industry, will decease or terminate within the first year of business because it's hard. It is hard. It's not easy by far. The thing of it is, with that, after deciding the length of the lease, you need to determine, again, now staffing, because that's also going to be a cost. Most people are considered what we used to call 1099, self-employed or contract employees now. A lot of corporations, even your major corporations, are getting away from hiring people on permanent or full-time. That is for one to cut costs. If you're not considered a full-time employee, most employers will not even consider offering you benefits, which is, I know, is important to several people and why they decide to work for a facility or a firm. So you may want to also consider that you're going to have the cost of paying for your benefits if the employer that you decide to work for does not offer them, or if you're self-employed. Next, we talk about travel time. A lot of the positions that are available, if you are going to work for someone, are not in your immediate area. Not in your immediate area. So when you're looking at hiring staff, if you're going to be bringing staff on, you have to also consider their travel time. That is important because if you're not paying them a certain amount of money or over a certain amount where it makes sense for them to even want to do the traveling, then you're not probably going to keep them long as a staff member. Overturn or overhead costs very much involves overturn of employees. To say it the only way that I know how to say it, in my younger years, I very much was guilty of, if I was not happy at a job, I would leave it. 2 fingers, I'm out. Goodbye. A lot of young people have that mentality, but then we can't judge them and say it's only the young people, because it's not. There are a lot of older people that have that mentality as well. Loyalty is important. So you want to make sure that you're building a company morale. So not only do you have travel time, you have company morale. As an owner, however, going with the overhead costs, you have the lease or the rent, you have the utilities, you have staffing, you have furniture. If you don't purchase your furniture or if you're leasing the furniture, you have office equipment, you have a telephone service. These are all things that's going to kind of play a part in your monthly costs as an owner. So these are all things to consider as well. Again, depending on the industry that you are in, these things can vary. They can be anywhere from $250 per month. They can go up to a few $1,000s per month. I know in my own personal testimony, moved my office from downtown to another location because the rent downtown, though I loved my location, I had window views of the city on the 20th floor, loved my office, but the overhead cost was just too astronomical. It did not make feasible sense for me to be in that space. And then it also was because I had to also include parking in addition to my lease that I was paying. Not only did I have parking, I then also had monthly expenses I had to add on, such as if I had things sent to the office, delivery charges, things of that nature. So again, it's very much worth investigating before you enter your lease, before you sign on the dotted line, what exactly comes with your lease. Okay. So just taking a break for just a second. It is Let's Talk About It. I am your host, RenaeThaDiva. This is a weekly podcast where I come live and I kind of talk about what's going on in news, sports, entertainment, things going on around the city, the state, in all kinds of different states, countries, what have you, things that affect us on our daily lives. So today, special guests could not make it. So today I'm kind of going over some business do's and don'ts, some things to consider when you're kind of doing your business. So I'm going to actually share this now. I actually developed, fast forward, a habits journal. So this is where you can order that habits journal if you choose to do so. Okay. I definitely think it's worth it. It goes over daily things. It takes 21 days to form an effective habit. Really, it takes about 21 days to even decide that you want to have it as a habit. What I mean by that is this. It's easy for us to start something, and this is very true in business, even it's easy for us to start something and think that we want to do that, but maybe we get into it and figure out that it's a little harder than we thought, or maybe it's a little easier than we thought, and we don't feel challenged. So if you consistently do something for at least 21 days, it becomes more of a habit. That can work in both a positive and a negative way. So that's why we have to be very cognizant about what we're doing in business and in our personal lives as far as daily habits and daily routines, because again, we don't want to form the wrong kind of habits like procrastination. Been there, done that, right? I think we all have. So just some things to consider. I will go over just a few more things in the business thing, and then I will let you guys go for this week. And we will come back next week with our special guest, okay? So a few more things about business. If you do have any questions or concerns after today's show, please feel free to like, share, comment. I will definitely try to reach out to you and get back to you. Also, if you would like to sponsor this show or be a sponsor for our podcast or any of our products, please email us at legacyentstudios@gmail.com, and we'll be more than happy to get back to you. If you would like to be a sponsor with Yizer TV, please go to shop Yizer, YIZZOR.com, and the fundraising activities are out there. Make sure you are liking, sharing, following this platform on social media. All social media, you can like, share, and follow RenaeThaDiva, RenaeThaDiva, and also Legacy Entertainment Studios. Make sure you're liking, sharing, supporting Mr. Kenneth Brown and SEDM. He does have KB Renaissance Clothiers. He also has a couple other platforms that he can post there in the comments. Okay. So again, if you're interested in sponsorship, make sure you give us a call or respond to us on any of those social media platforms. All right. So lastly, about the business portion for today. So we talked about considering your monthly costs, staffing, travel time, overhead costs, building uh, morale. We talked about being cognizant of habits, and we have also talked about what niche you will be in, kind of deciding your niche. Uh, we've also talked about leases. We've also talked about how to investigate. We've talked about how to work for yourself or if you're going to work for someone else. So, what I will also say is this: if you decide that you want to work for yourself, if you are scared, because it does take an act of faith, don't be afraid to keep your regular job and start your business separately. That gives you a little bit of a cushion, I guess you could say, or a little bit of reassurance to get your business off the ground. Here's what I'll tell you today also. It will become frustrating because you'll want to focus all of your energy on your business. And rightfully so. Because if you spend all day making someone else's business thrive, you have to put that same kind of energy into your business. Again, not everyone is able to just simply start a business and make it work. Because again, for the first year, your income very much will vary. You very well may not be getting the type of income that you expect right off the bat because you have to build your pipeline or build your business. We call it pipeline in insurance a lot of times. So don't be afraid or don't be ashamed to keep your job and still start your business. Everyone has had to start somewhere. The point of it is that you are starting. So you can do that. If you need to work a full-time job and then start your business and do your business in the evenings, weekends, or whenever, do it. But start. That's my encouragement for you today. Again, I will not stay on too long today. I hope these tips have helped you. If you would like to become one of my business mentors, or if you have any other questions, please feel free to call, email. You can email us at legacyentstudios@gmail.com. I will also post, and I have posted how you can order the Habits Journal. I definitely ask you to order that. It's very effective. It is actually a hard copy. Just like I went back to this journal, one of my original business journals from 2015, the Habits Journal that I wrote and published will help you on your journey, and you'll be able to reflect back and see even a year from now where you are when you form effective habits. So again, I hope this information has been helpful. Please like, share, and follow. Make sure you subscribe on YouTube also, which is under the same names, RenaeThaDiva or Legacy Entertainment Studios on YouTube. I have been RenaeThaDiva, host of Let's Talk About It. Hopefully you have enjoyed today. Bye-bye for now.